And welcome to the Addicts, a fantasy football podcast. We are addicted to all things fantasy football. It is Halloween, boys, and I've got a take for you, Haven, that you're going to love.
What is it?
I think Halloween is by far the worst major holiday for people that are in their late 20s, early 30s.
Triggered.
That is the worst take ever.
I said major holidays. I'm not including Arbor Day, but
we're including
for people in their late 20s, early 30s. You know, it's great when you're a kid and you can trick or treat. It's a lot of fun. You get to watch the fun movies. If you're an adult, you get to take your kids trick or treating. And even in their early 20s, you know, in college and right out of college, you get to go to fun parties. But in your late 20s, early 30s, there's I'm not doing anything.
Well, that's sad. You should be. It's Friday. Halloween's on a Friday. That's when you and your friends should be getting together, having a good time. And you're talking, first off, movies, we're at the right age where we grew up in the golden age of Halloween movies. Halloween Town, Hocus Pocus.
Have you watched those recently?
Yes.
Because I agree. When I was a kid, I loved those movies. They're so cheesy, man.
And this perfect. I watched all of them already this Halloween. And I love scary movies too. We're going to go see Black Phone on Saturday, and I'm pumped. And maybe November 1st, but we're counting it because of my birthday, or my birthday present. But, I mean, Scream, Halloween, Friday the 13th, great movies. And you can watch them anytime. The fun thing about Halloween is like Christmas, where you can celebrate it the whole month. You don't do that for 4th of July. You don't do that for Thanksgiving. You don't do that for New Year's. Those are the other three major holidays. Christmas and Halloween get their whole month of fun, and you're just wrong, sir.
I'm somewhere in the middle here, because I don't agree with Haven comparing it to Christmas. That feels a little sacrilegious in ways.
Christmas is by far the best, and it's on its own tier.
Absolutely.
Halloween is that next great holiday.
I think Halloween,
because it has its whole month,
is one of those holidays where it really depends on the friend group that you have. If you're in a friend group that does a lot of things and has a lot of parties, I could see you really getting into Halloween and doing a bunch of fun stuff and dressing up and having fun parties and snacks and food and doing cool stuff. And if you really get into scary movies, you could also really get into Halloween. But there are a lot of people that do not like scary movies whatsoever and do not like going out. They're more introverted, and maybe they don't have a bunch of friends that do Halloween party type stuff. They're just more chill people. So I could see how you wouldn't get into Halloween as much if you weren't one of those people. So I enjoy watching scary movies. I don't enjoy all of them. I have a couple that I like, and then some that I absolutely can't stand. I like the cheesy ones that you talked about. People love cheese.
People love cheese. I don't like having to think about coming up with a costume. Last year we went to a costume party, and as a 28-year-old, and I was like, I'm too busy to think of a fun and quirky costume that's appropriate as a 28-year-old.
You need to go as the one I sent y'all. Go as 6 and let her go as 7.
I hate that trend, though. I still want that trend to be over.
It's so funny.
Because you're old. You're talking like, we're at the age where that's stupid, but it's still funny to me. But that was a couple years ago, 21.
Trends.
9 plus
this
10,
is the way
21.
you do it. Get involved, get all the parents, get grandparents, get them super involved in the new trends, and they will die.
I mean,
immediately.
You don't remember going around going, hey, 1738.
That is true. Hey, let's also throw you under the bus. I know we need to hit on this. What's your record since starting this podcast in fantasy football?
It's not good.
It's just hate on Haven night.
Since we have started this podcast, I'm in 7 leagues. I was also in Survivor and Cutthroat. Since this podcast began, I got eliminated. I am also 1-20 in those 7 leagues. Only winning one matchup in a league I was trying to tank in. So it's not been good.
We need to pull up your team from last week. I'll go to it. But yeah, I mean, you were starting people. Bucks is what killed you. You didn't think about starting a bad defense.
I mean, I scored the 3rd highest.
The 3rd highest. Yeah, you were starting people like Bam Knight.
While trying to lose.
I started Ollie Gordon.
I got it right here. Yeah, Ollie Gordon, Woody Marks, Pat Bryant. He had the first game in his career where he had more than 2 fantasy points.
Every single player you just named has had all of their best games the same week.
Washington had a touchdown. Evan Ingram, Chuba, Kyle Monangai. Yeah, and Tyler Loop had 13 points, and you started the Buccaneers defense, which was bad on you because they had a great matchup, and they had 31 points.
So, I guess I'm trying again. I'm 4-4. Sure, why not?
The question I have to ask you is if you don't win any of your leagues, your matchups in any of your leagues this week, do you have to drop out of the podcast?
I'm taking a
Yeah,
week
are you-
hiatus. I'm taking a
Oh.
hiatus until I get a win.
Until you get a win?
We'll be
Yes.
one voice quieter.
There will probably be a guest on the show until I can get a win. So hopefully it's this week. But it goes to what I want to talk about because I need some help, fellas. I want to talk about the QB5 of the season.
All right,
So-
hit us with it.
Bo Nix. Is he a weekly start? Is he somebody I should be looking at playing? I mean, when you talk about the QB5 through 8 weeks, I mean, usually that's a lock and loaded who you put in your lineup, but I don't know if I want to start him. I'm debating. My other quarterback is Matthew Stafford. He has a better matchup. The Broncos are playing Houston, and this goes for anybody out there. Like, is Bo Nix somebody you should just lock in your lineup, drop the other quarterback until it's the bye week, or do you play the matchup game? Because he does have a couple hard matchups coming up. So does it also mean, like, should I be looking at trading him right now? Like, what do I do with this guy?
Yeah, in my opinion, he is one of those guys you start and you just you don't watch the game. You close your eyes and you check it at the end of the fourth quarter because you don't want to be a part of that roller coaster. It was what game was it? The
Giants.
Giants game. He ended with 40 fantasy points and he had
Yeah.
4 points going into the fourth quarter.
So so if you think maybe that's why it really boosted him, I went and subtracted 19 points from that 39 just to see if he scored 20, did he drop out of the top 10? He only dropped to QB7.
Really?
So-
That's surprising.
Exactly. He's had only 1 week below 10 points, and he's had 4 weeks above 20. So he's been a pretty consistent 10 or 13 plus points. I just get so nervous with him. I don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, this week specifically, they're playing Houston, who is number 1 against quarterbacks.
Yep.
So I would be trying to find somebody else. He's not a horrible play, just
Mhm.
because he's part of a good offense and he does run the ball,
Yeah.
which is really good for fantasy. But I mean, we'll get into it later with some of the streams of the week and our starts of the week at quarterback. But I would be trying to find somebody on the waiver that has a really good matchup.
Yeah.
That could be
I
a
tried that
possibility.
2 weeks ago, and I started Jared Goff, who was supposed to light up the world. He got me 10 points, and Bo got me 39 on my bench, and it cost me a win. So it's kind of, I feel like I just need to ride with him. Just put him in there. Whatever he does, he does. Don't try to keep playing this quarterback game.
The other guy you mentioned, Matt Stafford's quarterback 10. So, I mean, it's not like he's a bad start. They're playing New Orleans. So, I mean, but there's also, he could have that exact Jared Goff game where they just dominate them on the ground, go up 3 touchdowns early, and then he doesn't have to do anything. And like Goff, good quarterback, good offense, but if they just don't need to throw the ball, he's just not going to put up points. And so that could very well happen against New Orleans if Stafford just doesn't need to put up points. But I agree with what Mason is saying. Bo Nix has been really good, and he runs the ball enough to where most weeks I think he's going to be able to compile points together, and you just may live with some of those bad weeks. But knowing that his lowest week was 1 bust game and the other low weeks were 13 to 14 points, I can live with that most weeks if you get me at least 13 to 14 and the other players on my team bring it home for me.
I'm going to list the top 10 quarterbacks, and you tell me if they are you just put them in your lineup, or are you going to the trying to find a different player based on matchups? Mahomes,
Start. Doesn't matter.
He's a QB1. Yeah, you got to start him.
Jalen Hurts,
Start. Doesn't
You're
matter.
starting him.
Drake May,
Start. Doesn't matter.
Every week.
Daniel Jones.
Start. Doesn't matter. He runs the ball so much that I really don't care.
I view him very similar to Bo Nix in a way. I mean, I think they're the quarterback 5 and 6 right now.
Yep, they're only separated by 2 points. All right.
Does Daniel Jones have a bad game yet this year? What's his
He was
lowest scoring?
QB 26 against the Los Angeles Rams with only 10 points. So he's been solid. Bo is 5. Justin Herbert.
No, he in my opinion is matchup, especially with the injuries that they've had on that team. In my opinion, he's a matchup based.
I kind of agree. He's had 3 weeks in the top 5, and he's had 3 weeks QB 18 or higher.
Currently the quarterback 4
Josh Allen
every
Start.
week.
Yep.
Dak Prescott.
What do you think, Dalton?
Most weeks, yeah, I'm probably starting Dak just because they have to throw the ball so much. They're in so many shootouts because their defense just can't help them at all. So, I mean, you might be a little nervous with some matchups, but Dak can easily go out there and still throw 40 passes even in that game. And if he throws 2 picks, he probably also is scoring multiple touchdowns. So Dak, I feel pretty good about. And even Herbert, I'm not overly scared off about. I mean, his low weeks were 14 points, and every other week he's been in the 20s. So, I mean, Herbert's not a bad start either.
We've talked about it a lot. Dak has the perfect situation where his defense is horrible. So they are constantly in shootouts. So even if he has a bad matchup where he's playing a good defense, it'd be hard for me to bench him.
Yeah.
And then we talked about Stafford. The only other one is Baker Mayfield.
He's just a good vibes guy. I love playing. He's so much fun to watch.
Putting him in your lineup, you feel like you have a leader.
Yeah. So, Baker, unless it's, a top 3 team against quarterbacks like Houston, like we talked about being the number 1, I'm probably playing Baker in almost every matchup.
He's had 2 bad weeks in a row, but they are going into a bye week, and they're hoping to come out of that bye week more healthy because he's been down a lot of pass catchers. But before those 2 weeks, I mean, his lowest week was 17, 18 points, and every other week has been in the 20s or near 20. So, I mean, considering situation, I think they're going to come out of the bye week a whole lot better, more healthy, and he's going to get back to rolling kind of the way he was. He does have some harder matchups out of the bye week, so we'll kind of see. I know he ends the year pretty strong with some good matchups.
That's right. I like that little exercise, Haven.
Yeah.
All those top 5 guys, you're probably playing those guys every single week.
I'm starting Bo Nix then. He's top 5.
All right. You're starting Bo Nix?
Starting Bo Nix.
Cool.
Putting him in I had put Stafford in there. I'm going back to Bo.
Yeah, I'd roll with it. Y'all want to do some trivia?
Let's do some trivia, Dalton. What you got for us today?
Trivia. All right. So I tried to make it a little bit harder this time. So hopefully we can get to some of the other clues this time. Haven. Guessing him on the second
It was
guess.
impressive. First try.
That was impressive. Okay. First clue. First player.
Okay.
I have played in 7 games. I'll preface this again, everybody. This is PPR. This is through week 8. All these numbers are through week 8.
Mm-hmm.
So, first clue. I have played in 7 games so far this season, and I am currently within the top 24 at my position. That's the first clue. I know it's not a lot. Got to start somewhere.
So does that mean he's had a bye week or he's been injured 1 week? Dalton likes to play some games. He likes to do some tricks. So let's see after these couple other hints.
I wanted to leave it more open because both could be possibilities. So probably not enough to go on unless you just want to throw something out there or text me and maybe you might lock it in and get it right.
Not yet.
Okay. So played in 7 games, currently within the top 24. Second clue. This season, I have finished as a top 12 wide receiver 3 times, and I have finished below wide receiver 60 3 times.
Okay. So he's a big boomer bust guy.
I kind of think I know who it is, but I'm going to let you keep going.
Shoot a text, lock it in, and I'll keep
I
rolling.
don't want to lock it in just yet.
All
right. Hit number 3.
Hint number 3. This player currently has 4 total touchdowns, 3 receiving, 1 on the ground. So this wide receiver has played in 7 games out of the first 8 weeks. Currently within the top 24, they've had 3 top 12 weeks and then 3 weeks at wide receiver 60 or below. They have 4 total touchdowns, 3 receiving, 1 rushing. No locks?
No, I have no idea. Let's keep going.
Good.
Yeah,
I've got some ideas of boom bust wide receivers.
I'm more lost right now.
Good. Okay, going on to clue number 4. I'm currently in my 7th season. I've finished as a top 12 receiver twice in my career. In the other 4 seasons, I have finished below wide receiver 30. So he's currently playing his 7th season. The 6 seasons prior, twice he's finished as a top 12 receiver. The other 4 times, wide receiver 30 or below.
I'm texting you my guess. I'm locking it in.
Okay. We got to lock in by Haven.
6 seasons.
6, 7.
I had a good guess
these
before that hint.
I'll go back over some of them. So this receiver has played in 7 of the first 8 games. Currently top 24 at his position. This season, they've finished 3 times as a top 12 receiver, 3 times below wide receiver 60. They have 4 total touchdowns, 3 receiving, 1 rushing. This is their 7th season currently. 6 seasons prior, they have finished twice as a top 12 wide receiver. The other 4 times below wide receiver 30.
How many more hints do we have?
I have 1 more, but I can give a 6th one if y'all really need it.
I texted you mine.
Haven's locked in. So if he gets it right, he beats me.
Haven does not have it.
Oh, it's not right?
Wrong.
Who'd you guess?
Haven guessed Stephon Diggs, and that is not right.
Oh. Diggs has been in the league longer than 7 years.
I think so.
Right.
Is it that?
I think so. I'm not sure, but I think so. All right, fifth clue. I have been known as an offensive weapon, both on the ground and through the air, especially when healthy.
Oh, I know who it is. I can't believe I didn't get it until now. I can't believe I didn't get it till now.
Do I get in there and guess if he
He's
gets
a
it wrong?
man.
I think Mason's got it.
Yeah. Is it?
Who
It's
is it,
Debo
Mason?
Samuel.
It's Debo.
It's Debo Samuel.
When you said, I should have thought of the wide receivers that are known for rushing the ball, and he should have been the first one that came to my head.
That little hint of him also having a rushing touchdown. I hope that didn't give it away, but it certainly was a little nod as to here are the players that might be used that way.
Yeah. Well, one could have just been a gadget play at the goal line, you know? So that made me think Chiefs, but none of them fit the mold for that.
Right.
I thought Chris Olave, but I didn't think he had been in the league for 7 years. But yeah, the last hint definitely gave it away. That was a good one.
Yep. That's pretty crazy. We know Debo is a really high performing wide receiver. He just doesn't always finish seasons and play full seasons. So he's finished below wide receiver 30 multiple times in 4 of his previous 6 seasons. So he's a really good receiver when he plays. That doesn't mean he finishes the year the way he played. The way he played when you had him was fun, and then he was hurt, and then he was on your bench. A lot of highs, a lot of lows, and even this season, I mean, some great weeks and then some really bad weeks this season because he's, I think, playing through some injuries.
Marcus Mariota being a quarterback for a little bit. It's been
it's been rough for Washington.
Just a lost season for them after the season they had previous. Okay, second player. Okay, this player currently has 52 receptions, has exactly 500 total yards and less than 5 touchdowns this season. So 52 receptions, exactly to the dot, total 500 yards and less than 5 touchdowns.
So what's that? I mean, that's like 7 receptions a game. You said receptions, right?
132 total
52 receptions, exactly 500 total yards and less than 5 touchdowns.
Okay. Hit number 2.
All right. Going on to the next one. This player has had more than 16 fantasy points only once this season and has yet to have 100 yards receiving in a game.
So he's yet to have more than 16 fantasy points in a game? That's what you said, right?
They've only had more than 16 fantasy points once.
Okay, once.
In the first 8 weeks. They've only scored more than 16 fantasy points once, and they have not yet had a 100-yard receiving game. But they do have 52 receptions, exactly 500 total yards, and less than 5 touchdowns.
So it's a slot wide receiver. That's what you're telling me.
I have no idea.
I have a hint. I have an idea.
I need more.
I don't think he has 500 yards.
Not enough to lock in yet?
No.
Okay. No.
All right, going on number 3. This receiver is currently top 10, but has only finished as a top 10 receiver on the week once. So they're top 10 on the year, but they've only finished on the week as a top 10 receiver once.
I'm locking it in.
I need to lock mine in too now.
I'm gonna do it first. All right, locked it in.
I locked it in too.
Which message does he get first?
One of you is right, and one of you is wrong.
I'm probably wrong.
So I'm gonna go on to the next clue, and I'm gonna see if y'all immediately get it. So to retract some of these for any of you that are still guessing online or watching this. This player currently has 52 receptions, exactly 500 total yards, less than 5 touchdowns. They've had more than 16 fantasy points once this season and has yet to score or yet to have 100 yards receiving. They're currently a top 10 wide receiver, but they've only finished as a wide receiver in the top 10 on a week once. They are still playing for their original drafted team and has never finished as a top 15 wide receiver.
So I'm right.
I think I'm right.
They also have had 10 plus targets in 6 of 8 games.
I'm definitely right.
Haven
It's Chris Olave.
It's Chris Olave. Dadgummit. That's the right answer. I went Wandale.
That was a good guess.
That's a guy that's getting a lot of targets and receptions.
What's funny is Olave has exactly 503 yards receiving and then has one single rush where he lost 3 yards.
3 yards.
So he has exactly 500 yards total on the season.
See, I didn't know if you would have gone him. That's why I was hesitant. I actually had him after the second question, but I was like, would he do him after we talked about him on Monday's episode as much as we did? I was like, okay, this has to be it.
Oh, how the turntables.
Wandale was close. He fit the description. He only has 38 receptions, but he has 494 yards, 2 touchdowns, and I guess he's dropped over the past week or two because at one point this season he was like a top 8, 10 wide
He was
receiver.
solid.
Yeah, right now he's sitting at wide receiver 19. Olave, that was a good one.
Let's go.
Isn't that crazy?
Cool.
He's a top 9 receiver, but has only
No
finished.
one's talking about him
Has
this
only
year.
finished the top 10 receiver once.
We did a poll this week. It had about 75 people voted on it, and it was who would you rather have the rest of the season? It was Rome Odunze and Chris Olave, and both of them were literally right next to each other. But one's like wide receiver 9, one was like wide receiver 10, and Rome had 76% of the votes. Like that, shocking that many people voted for him over Chris Olave when they're literally right beside each other.
Yeah.
And Rome's had a couple bad weeks lately.
I know. Olave's been a lot more consistent than Rome, but I
It's
think
very consistent.
Rome has those boom games that people probably won't.
It's hard to bust when you get 10 plus targets every week,
That's
Yeah.
right.
even on that bad offense.
Well, cool. That was some good trivia, Dalton. All right, let's get into some news. Let's run through the trade deadline is after this week, and there's been a lot of rumors going around. Let's run through some of the rumors and talk about whether we think they're actually likely to happen or not. So one, and this hits home to Dalton pretty good, Patriots are looking to trade for another running back. They will refuse to give any work to Travion Henderson. What are your thoughts on that, Dalton?
It's crazy because Stevenson isn't practicing right now.
I know.
So you would think they would give their second round running back, their highly drafted second round running back that they felt confident enough to take that high to maybe start for you, maybe give him the ball, see what he can do. He's not Ramondre. They're not anywhere near the same running back. So why are you using them the same way? I just can't understand why they don't creatively get him the ball more. Kind of like how the Lions drafted Jahmyr Gibbs really high. We're super excited to use him and then used him in ways that his skill set could best be benefited in the game plan. It's like they just don't even care or want to use him.
They're not giving him opportunities.
I just don't understand because in college, he never fumbled. In college, he was a great pass protector. He graded out at all of his great things and then gets to the NFL and it's just like he all of a sudden is just bad at all of those things. I just don't understand. I get wanting to have more guys if you don't have confidence in your running back room. So like, are they talking about going out and getting like a Jalen Wright just to have another guy in their room? Or are they wanting to go out and get like Breece Hall? Because if they want to go get Breece Hall, what is so wrong with the running backs you have? Like the Patriots as a team just feel like they have so many more team needs than running back. That's just strange for them to want to say we need running back more than any other position on our team when you could clearly benefit from a better wide receiver or
receiver.
O-line. Like protect your young quarterback that obviously is the face of your franchise for many, many years from now. I don't understand why you'd go get another running back and then not use the guys you already have. It's just confusing.
Yep. Another of the 2 running backs that are been talked about being traded, Breece Hall and Tony Pollard. Some news got released today that the Titans were shopping Tony Pollard, which I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Of these 3 guys, Haven, we'll start with you. Who of these guys do you think is most likely to actually be traded?
Tony Pollard, I think, will be traded. That's kind
Really?
of, it'd be great if he goes to the Patriots. But I think teams have a lot. If you look at the NFL and how it's been going, running backs are having a lot more catching the ball, and there's a lot more pass protection. And teams are starting to wear down. Those backs are starting to wear down more, so they're not able to really rush up the middle. And that is what Tony Pollard is known for. He is that guy who can grind you 3 to 4 yards a carry, and teams just want a dude who can come in here, get 15 carries, give me 70 yards, and let's move the ball. Breece Hall, because Dalton thinks I like to call everybody by their first name. Breece Hall is.
It's not
the
like
Jets,
you do it. It's not like you do it on a regular basis. So I don't know why I would ever say that.
You know, my boy Breece.
You're just on first name
Breece
basis
Hall,
with every player in the NFL.
Try to be. Got half their numbers. I just, he's a corner piece. When you think of the Jets, you think of Breece Hall. I hope he goes somewhere because Isaiah Davis looks really good, but I just don't know if the Jets are they wanting like a 4th rounder for him.
Breece deserves better. He's way too good of a running back for them not to want him or use him, and he could be so much better in so many other places.
Yeah. He would
I
be
think I think he's the most likely to be traded. I think there's been so much smoke behind that trade rumor, and it's that trade rumor has been going around well before this trade deadline's coming
been
up and all
building.
this news. It's been building, and I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, he's not under contract after this year. The Jets are really bad. Going to be looking to acquire some draft capital, and Isaiah Davis has looked good. So I'd say with both of these guys, Breece Hall and Tony Pollard, if Tajay Spears or Isaiah Davis is on the waiver wire, I'd go scoop them up before this weekend's games. And the waiver wire runs next week so that you have them just on the chance that these guys are traded.
Yeah, stash 'em.
Deadline's next week, ain't it? November 3rd? Yeah. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it runs before waivers hit.
Yeah.
So it's good to get these guys on your roster now. And if Breece and Tony Pollard aren't traded, it's still good to have these guys as insurance backs on your team.
Sure.
Let's get into some injury news. Ricky Pearsall is finally practicing. It's been 4 solid weeks without him practicing at all. That pesky PCL injury that we've also saw with Brock Bowers struggling with. I think it's very good that we're seeing him practice. I'm very optimistic. I'm not sure if he plays this week, and I'm definitely not comfortable starting him this week. So I think it's at least until week 10 that we're comfortable starting him after all this PCL injury stuff.
Yeah, I don't think he plays. Some of the newer reports are saying that he's still not practicing.
I saw a report today that he was practicing.
Was he limited?
So it was in limited fashion. We'll see. Who knows? I've drafted him in so many leagues, and he was my guy, so it's just been a rough year for a lot of the 49ers. Terry McLaurin ruled out. Also have Terry in a lot of leagues. It's so sad.
That's rough.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is finally back. So start your Debos if you have them. Drake London, limited at practice. I wanted to bring this one up. This is a back-to-back limited. A lot of times you'll see these veterans rest on Wednesday. They just won't practice. But he's also limited today, so there's something there. And also he didn't play last week. So.
Yeah, good tip for any new fantasy players. Never make decisions based on Wednesday practice reports because they're so not predictive as to what's going to happen later in the week. They're known as veteran rest days. So if your guy doesn't practice, don't freak out, and certainly don't go trade them away or let somebody convince you that they're dead. It's Wednesday, guys rest. They play in a very tough league. Some of these guys compare it to getting into a car crash once a week. Like it's a tough thing they do, and a lot of them need more rest than others.
Brian Thomas also limited on a Thursday practice report. Same situation with Drake London. He had the veteran day off. I guess he's a veteran. He's in his second year.
Yeah, his worries me a little bit because it's a shoulder, and I think it's the same shoulder that he had issues on in college, and so he's been known to have some shoulder issues. I don't know necessarily if he dislocated his shoulder or whether it's something with his labrum to where it kind of keeps coming in and out or what, but it's concerning enough to where he may or may not play. It may be a pain tolerance thing. They may have to numb it up. Some players have to do that.
That's what happened in the London game. Where
it makes me more confident
in
the Travis Hunter breakout if Thomas really is hobbled and playing limited and they're just already leaning in more to Travis Hunter. They may do it even more, that he's the main guy.
Yep, completely agree. Hassan Haskins is still missing practice. He hasn't been upgraded to limited.
If you have on your lineup, just drop him.
Just drop him. Yep. Vidal, he's still an excellent start this week.
Yep.
Pacheco has missed practice on Thursday, so that's more interesting if you have Kareem Hunt after his boom game last week. Are y'all confident at all starting Hunt?
He had 19% of carries. He's just a goal line back. I would be more interested in Brashard Smith
for upside.
Yeah, for upside.
If you need a start short term, I'm fine rolling Hunt out there because if he's one of 2 and not 3 guys now, it's a little less crowded and there are good offense. So the chances of them finding their way to the red zone and on the goal line, it's going to get probably Hunt for a touchdown. So there are worse plays. I'd be fine playing Hunt if I absolutely had to. I'm not looking to just jam him into my lineup. But if I don't need a running back short term, I would certainly agree with Haven saying that Brashard Smith is somebody I have hope for, that he could have like a late season Jerick McKinnon breakout where he just catches a bunch of passes and is really usable.
Yep. Joe Flacco is limited Thursday after missing practice Wednesday. We need to be watching this one because this affects everyone on that offense. Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, even the tight ends. It will be very sad on Sunday if we have to watch Jake Browning play quarterback for the Bengals again.
Jake Brownstein.
Yeah, Brownstein. So hopefully Joe can get it to go this week. Let's get into some of the matchups. We've got some starts of the week for y'all. We're going to go through quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end. These are guys that could be streamable, that we are saying we are confident in starting this week. Dalton, why don't you start us off with your quarterback start of the week?
Yeah, so my quarterback pick was more for deep leagues and some streamable options. So I went and looked at the waiver wire and looked at who is readily available. And my pick is Aaron Rodgers this week. Old man Aaron Rodgers. 3 weeks in a row, he's had about 17 or more fantasy points coming out of their bye week 3-4 weeks ago. He's played against Cleveland. They're a pretty good defense. Had a decent week. Played against Cincinnati, delivered against Cincinnati. So you want to see people deliver against bad defense. Played against Green Bay the week before, 17 points. He plays Indianapolis. Indianapolis, as far as defenses go, I think they're the second highest defense that, as far as pass rate, teams have to throw on Indianapolis because they're very good against the run. So I could see this being a game where Indianapolis gets up and just keep scoring. And so the Steelers keep having to keep up with them. And they're not going to do that on the ground because, one, they defend it really well. But two, I don't think they're going to be able to run that many plays and come back on the ground. So I think this is a game where Rodgers has to keep up.
Yep. Completely agree. Haven, what about you?
So I went with more kind of these guys are going to have MVP type weeks.
Mhm.
My pick is Daniel Jones. He's had 3 straight weeks of 22 plus points. He's had 5 of 8 weeks in the top 10. They're playing against the Steelers. Average points for quarterbacks against the Steelers have been 23.71. So they're
That's
getting a
good.
lot. And the last 2 games, the Steelers have given up 31 and 34 points against quarterbacks. So if you're debating because it's Daniel Jones, don't worry about it. Put in your lineup. He is going to have a big week this week.
We need to bet on this. Y'all's quarterback starts of the week are duking it out against each other.
Yeah.
I definitely put my money on Daniel Jones.
I put my money on that. Yeah.
As you should.
But Aaron Rodgers is a good sneaky start if you have a guy on bye week like Jalen Hurts. All right, mine is Jackson Dart, and this hurts as a Mississippi State fan having to say my start of the week is an Ole Miss quarterback, but I wanted to put it out there that I'm still confident in starting Jackson Dart even after the injury to Cam Scatterbo. This team is, I mean, they have tons of injuries after the Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterbo, but you want quarterbacks that run the ball. And I think Jackson Dart's going to have to go out there and kind of be the superhero to keep them in the game. So I think we're going to see a lot of him when he can't find his first, second read, just taking off and being that superhero to pick up the first down. So I feel confident in Jackson Dart this week. They play the 49ers, who are the 17th best against the quarterback, which isn't great, isn't bad. But I think he's a good start this week. Let's move on to running backs, and I'll give it a start. I'm going with Tajay Spears against the Chargers. Chargers offense is hot. Titans is horrible. So I think this is definitely going to be a game where the Titans are playing comeback, trying to catch up in this game, and that bodes well for Tajay Spears. He is the pass catching back for the Titans. I could see him getting 5 to 8 receptions in this game. Not really worried about the running. He's probably not going to get a rushing touchdown, but I think he's definitely a safe flex option for the Titans as they're trying to play catch up to the Chargers. Chargers are 19th ranked against the running back position. So not great, not horrible, but I think it's going to bode well for a pass catching running back in this matchup. Haven, hit us with your running back start of the week.
Mine is Swift. He has had 4 straight weeks, 5 at the bye with 15 plus points and a touchdown. They are playing against the Bengals. This is crazy. I looked up the average running back fantasy points per game. It's 27.75 for running backs. He's about to have a boom game. The lowest a running back has scored against the Bengals is 16, which, yeah. So be confident in DeAndre Swift this week. He's about to go nuclear.
Wheels up.
I think it could be both for Swift and Monangai. Monangai is definitely a little bit more risky, but I might slide him into a flex spot if I'm in a pinch.
Yeah.
Great matchup.
It's a perfect matchup this week.
And my guy's the same type situation. You start everybody against the Bengals. You start everybody against the Cowboys. So anybody out there with Bam Knight, running back for the Cardinals, they're playing the Cowboys this week, and we hope to have Kyler Murray back. So hopefully the offense is firing on a few more cylinders. If not, Jacoby Brissett can hand off the ball just as easily as Kyler Murray can. Bam Knight's the main guy. The Cardinals are doing some weird stuff where they're cutting Michael Carter and they're going to
So
re-sign him.
weird, man.
I don't really care
Yeah.
what they're doing. He's not the starter anyway. So just roll Bam Knight out there against a terrible defense and collect your 3 points.
Yep. Dalton, hit us with your running or your wide receiver start of the week.
Wide receiver is Jordan Addison. I think Jordan Addison's a good start. He's been locked in every single week since he got back from his suspension. They got J.J. McCarthy coming back. I'm hoping he's going to be a much better, much more fresher look than Wentz was. McCarthy only played a game and a half this year. I'm not ready to pass judgment just yet, so I wouldn't freak out. Addison's looked solid. He's looked really good. The Lions are a respectable defense. They're going to be putting more pressure on Jefferson to perform. Jordan Addison's going to get a lot of single coverage looks, and I think he can absolutely take advantage of those.
Yep, completely agree. My wide receiver start of the week is Debo. This is mainly because, one, Jaden Daniels is back, and two, Terry McLaurin is not playing. So earlier in the year when we saw Terry not playing and we had Jaden Daniels, Debo was on a very hot start, and I think that's going to continue against Seattle. Seattle is ranked 11th against wide receivers, and this week they'll have their starting corner and safety out. So I think Debo's going to have a big game. Maybe he can even get that rushing touchdown, get that number up to 2.
Oh, yeah.
Haven, hit us with your wide receiver start of the week.
Mine is Ladd McConkey against Tennessee. They give up 21.75 points against a slot wide receiver. He has had
Dang.
Yeah.
You bringing the stats today, Haven. I'm enjoying this.
I got the stats. 3 straight weeks of 15 plus. I wanted to put 4, but the 4th week was 14.9. So just a little there. But yeah, if you're worried about the Chargers room, this is a week I would be playing Ladd of that core. Tennessee is not good against the slot, and hope he's going to give you 15 plus points again this week.
I think Ladd's back. He, going into the year, was thought of as the number 1 wide receiver for this team. Huge was irrelevant. Keenan Allen was basically retired until they picked him up. So I think as the year continues on, we're going to start to see that, Ladd is the guy for the Chargers. And Huge and Keenan Allen will still have big weeks, but I think Ladd's definitely going to be the more consistent of those guys. All right. Continue on, Haven, with your tight end start of the week.
I ain't got no stats for this one. This is just pure luck. This is Brock Bowers versus the Jaguars. You drafted this man either in the first round or in the second, very early. He has been on your bench. He's been in the IR, not your team's IR, not the Raiders IR. But this man, you want him back. You're going to play him. Dang it. We need him to be good. He's in your lineup. Don't worry about it. He made me hurt. No, put him in there. Screw it. Jags only give up 8 points to tight ends, but he's going to make that number higher after this week. Start Brock Bowers.
Completely agree. You drafted him to be your guy, to be the superstar he was last year. He's back from injury. You play him.
He's pretty good at football.
Yeah, I'd say he's pretty good. All right, Dalton, what's your tight end start of the week?
Look, I'm nothing but consistent, okay? We're going Kyle Pitts. I told y'all about Kyle Pitts, and now he's had back-to-back weeks of 10 targets, 9 targets. He's caught 7, and he caught 9. Both games he had about 60 yards. I'll take that every single week. Drake London might be banged up, may or may not play. I don't really care. Kyle Pitts looks like he's in the offense. He's involved. Can you just imagine if he caught touchdowns? Because he's already getting targeted, and he's already getting tons of yards.
If only
You could do so much worse. You could do so much worse at tight end. Kyle Pitts, very happy to start him.
I love it and I hate it. He's just got so much stink in my heart left on him from the past couple of years. But
Stinky
he's been,
Pitts?
yes, he's been a very stinky Pitts past couple of years, but he's been good this year, and I think that's a good start. We can be confident in Pitts for this week.
Tight end 9 right now.
Do what now?
He's tight end 9 right now, I believe.
Yeah, he's been good. Jake Ferguson is my tight end start of the week. It's funny to say that he's a tight end start of the week when he is the number 1 tight end on the year, but he did goose egg. He got 0 points last week. So I'm just saying this as a confidence that was an anomaly. That's something that will not happen again for the rest of the season. Dak Prescott loves his tight end. He loves Jake Ferguson. Arizona is who Dallas is playing, and they're 24th against the tight end, so it's a good matchup. Roll out Jake Ferguson. All right. We've been doing this on our Thursday, Friday shows. Let's have a little Dynasty deep dive.
Yeah. Love it.
I want to start us off with a little keep trade cut, ordering these guys for Dynasty. It's a bunch of older running backs, mid to older running backs, that I'm not really sure what their value is. I want your opinion. So order these guys for me. DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Travis Etienne. What do you think?
So all three are the same age group, 26 years old. ETN, Dobbins, and I forgot the first one you said.
DeAndre Swift.
Swift. So if you look at those teams, I would be keeping ETN. That's who I'll be keeping. He's on with Liam Cohen as the head coach. He likes his running backs. Rayshad Tootin worries me a little bit for long term, but he is a good runner. That's somebody I would keep. I don't think you can get as much trade value as you can for a Swift. Swift is somebody I think with his name, what he's going to be doing this season, and this is what we're talking about with running backs. He's still at 26. By the time he's 27, that value automatically starts going down. So I would be trading him while he's still 26. You can probably get him for a 24-year-old, somebody probably in the same value range. That's what I'll be targeting. And then Dobbins is my cut. I don't think you can really trade just too much value for him. I mean, you may get, I don't know, someone, Jameson Williams maybe is who I think of when you think of a J.K. Dobbins. Like, I don't think he just gives you that value that Swift can get you.
You agree, Dalton? Is that how you'd rank them?
Yeah, I probably would say ETN first for sure, just because he's the only guy that's still on his original team that drafted him. Even though it's a new coaching staff, the new coaching staff has now shown that they trust him with a great workload the same way the previous coaching staff did. So that gives me a little bit of hope that maybe ETN can get re-signed. Both of the other guys are on new teams. So who's to say that they don't just move on from him? Dobbins went all season long or off season long and didn't get signed until the very end, as a free agent. So it's like he's played really well. Does he get re-signed? I don't know. The Broncos weren't exactly super excited to sign him in the offseason until they finally had to. Swift, I mean, it seems like he found a home in Chicago, so maybe he stays, maybe he gets replaced. I mean, that's the thing about Swift and Dobbins. I could see either one of them getting replaced. I don't necessarily see ETN getting replaced. I still see him being involved, even if he gets another guy that steps up with him. Dobbins looks really good.
He looks good, but I mean, you got to think about trade value. Who are you going to get more? Because you got your keep. If you're keeping ETN, which I think we all agree on,
Then you trade Dobbins.
Would you trade Dobbins or Swift? Who do you get?
I would trade
Dobbins.
Get
more for?
The vibes are higher on Dobbins. He just seems more highly regarded. I think other people also agree that he looks really good visually running the ball, and that they seem to be doing better as an offense, whereas Chicago can kind of sputter and start from here and there. Plus, Swift he's had more lows from play. Dobbins, his biggest low and loss in value was injury, and then he came back from that. Swift, it's been up and down. People have seen him play bad, and they've seen him play good. So I wonder if his value is more tainted because people have seen him be like this for so long that they're just waiting for the shoe to drop again.
Yep. If I'm just ranking these guys in Dynasty, I think it's definitely J.K. Dobbins last. The point you said, Dalton, which gives us the best indication of what his value is based on NFL teams, he went forever in the offseason without being signed. And then he was reluctantly signed by the Broncos just as a committee back for, 1-year deal, like $6 million with not very many incentives. So I'm just worried about his long-term future, for one, with the Broncos, and two, just with any team. ETN and Swift are a lot closer to me. I'm going to go with Swift as the top one out of those two, just because I trust in Ben Johnson, and they got signed to a large contract 2 years ago. So I'm not sure what exactly that contract is and if they can get out of it, but I'm just going to go with a better offense with DeAndre Swift, and he has looked like the better running back out of those two this year. So that's how I'd rank them. Haven, we've been doing this every week as well. I want to do your rookie to watch, Chimere DK. And I got the name right. I'm proud of myself.
That's how you say it? Because I was...
I should have given it to you first to give you... Yeah. How would you say it, Haven?
You ruined that.
I thought it was Chimere Dyke.
Yeah.
I hope your stats to back up your rookie to watch is better than your pronunciation.
Well, yeah, so we're gonna have a Haven's rookie every week, and we're also gonna try to feed Haven as many difficult names as possible in the future. Just
why can't these be easy? Ben Johnson. We've had Aronde Gadsden, and now Chimere DK.
It's spelled Dyke, but it's DK.
I mean, it's just been. What the heck, man? Even Torrey Horton, like, at least that was a little easy.
Yeah.
But this guy, if you're
DK, Chimere DK,
Chimere
rookie receiver for the Titans, drafted out of Florida in the 4th round.
Yes, when you're are tanking in a dynasty, or you have a couple older guys that you're trying to get rid of, and you're looking at what rookies, what you need to look for is snap percentages. That's to me an early indicator they're getting on the field more, and that's when their targets start going up. This guy, I talked about him a couple weeks ago, before he went nuclear, because he was for week 6, he had 18% snap percentage, and then he was in the 40s. So he started going up. Then week 6, he had 56% of snaps. Then we hit week 7, 57%. That's when I was like, this guy, I'll be looking at him, because he had 16.9 points. He had 4 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. He started getting that. And then last week, snap percentage went to 89%. 16.4 points, 8 targets, 7 catches, 93 yards. If you're tanking, look for these guys, because you can get them for very cheap, honestly free, because they're on waivers. If you're in a dynasty, look for these guys whose snap percentages can go up, and you're able to get them before you have to spend some fab a couple weeks later.
I didn't realize this till just now. DK was drafted before Io Manor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always thought Io Manor was a 2nd or 3rd round pick,
They were
but both
both
of
in
them
the
were
4th
4th round
round.
picks. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, that tells you all you need to know. The Titans, who they liked more in the 4th round. It was DK.
Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer for players to get on the field, learn the playbook. Just look for that. And just
He's really
you know what?
fast. He ran a 4.3 at the combine.
Speedy guy.
Yeah, I got him in our dynasty league for absolutely nothing. I think curious who I dropped for him, because I think it was like some chump.
Some chump.
Yeah, just take him off waivers for $0 October 22nd,
I love
right
it.
before he went big.
All right. Let's do our Dynasty deep dive. We've been doing this every Thursday show. We take a submission from someone on TikTok or Twitter. They'll send us their Dynasty team, and we'll do a little deep dive into the team, give our opinion on things they could do to make the team better. So let's take a look, guys, at this team. It was submitted to us by Xavier at Xavier on Twitter. I will refuse to call it X to the day I die. And here we go. We got it pulled up. I'll go through their team. Some of the guys that are the core players and some of their draft capital. So this is a super flex league. Only 1 starting running back position, and then 3 flex positions that can be running back or wide receiver. That's wrong. 5 flex spots. Is that right?
It's
Yeah.
5.
It's a start
But
11.
you basically are starting 4 receivers.
It's a
You're
start.
not start.
It's a start 11 league, which when I say start 11, that means anything not a kicker or defense. You're having to start a active positional player. And this guy has to start 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 receivers, 1 tight end. And the rest, the other 5, are a bunch of flexes and then a super flex position. So it's all over the board of how you can build this team, whether you want to go a bunch of running backs or receivers, but it gives you the ability to take it any way you want to.
Yeah, I've never done a league like this where there's only 1 dedicated running back position.
Yeah.
So it's a little interesting. All right, so their quarterbacks are Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Joe Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel.
Some
running
randoms.
backs, and some randoms. I'll only go over the ones that are actually important. Running backs, Breece Hall, Chuba, Tony Pollard, Jod White, Checo, Tajay Spears, and Kareem Hunt. They do have my boy Keaton Mitchell. Do not drop him.
He's just the second version of Justice Hill, who this guy also owns.
Yep. So it'll be 2030, but by that point, he'll actually have some value. Wide receivers, Amon-Ra, Rashee Rice, absolutely stacked there. Brandon Ayuk. They got Reed from the Packers, Deebo Samuel, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Torrey Horton, Cooper Kupp, the old man, Isaiah Bond, and Kendrick Bourne. And at
Tez
tight end,
Johnson.
and Tez Johnson. At tight end, they have Tucker Kraft, Evan Ingram, Jonnu Smith, and Okonkwo. And that's it, boys.
That's it.
Draft capital. They have their own 1st round pick, their own 2nd round pick, another team's 3rd, their own 3rd, and someone else's 4th.
Yeah, it looks like they have every
of draft capital.
Looks like they have every pick of their own for the next 3 years, and then just an additional 3rd and 4th this next year.
I feel like this is kind of a startup team. Like this, if you look at his roster, it kind of seems like that.
It feels
this
that
is
way.
a startup, first year of a dynasty. You don't really see many rookies. He doesn't have much draft capital past this year.
I think we need to clarify this team is 5-3. Like,
Yes.
I look at
That-
this team, and they've had, Rashi Rice, who's been injured or suspended, injured most of the year. They have
Debo's been
Ayuk.
hurt. I
Yeah,
mean,
Debo's been hurt. Ayuk, Reed. Like, it's just very impressive to be 5-3 with this team.
Yeah.
But initial thought, guys, what would you do to try to improve this team?
So looking at this team, the way it's built, I do agree with Haven that this feels like it's most likely a recent startup. My guess would be this is a 12-team league, whether it's a 10 or 12 or even a 14 league. That doesn't really concern me too much. Given all these positions that you have to start, I would be prioritizing young receivers more than anything. I would build my core around young receivers that you know you're going to have for a long time, because what this team looks like they've done, they've kind of started that. They've gotten 2 decent quarterbacks that they can roll out there each week with Herbert and Love. They got a good tight end in Kraft, and then they've built around Amon-Ra and Rice. I would keep getting young receivers any way you can. Build that core, and then literally figure it out everywhere else, which they've kind of done at running back. They have Brees Hall and Chuba and Pollard, and then the rest of them are just shotgun approach. I mean, it's Rashad White and Pacheco and Spears and Hunt. Like, all of these guys, you're just hoping they get an opportunity week to week, and then they're usable. And that's season long, they're usable. But once the season ends, I mean, majority of these running backs could just be gone. They could just disappear in value. So, I mean, these are more mid-season value guys. So I would definitely keep doing what this guy's doing. I would just keep looking for those young receivers. I mean, I would even be interested in playing like a budget tight end, if y'all know what I mean. Like, I'd be happy rolling out there Evan Ingram every week, knowing that you have to start 10 other positions other than tight end. Roll Evan Ingram out there at your tight end and trade Kraft and some other guy to go get a young stud wide receiver and just build that young receiver core more and more and have that last longer, just because those young receivers are so value insulated in Dynasty. They hold their value and they keep it for a long time, which will keep you dominant for longer.
Does Kraft have that kind of value, though, where you can go out and get a stud wide receiver, a young wide receiver? Because he has been so good for the past 2 years, but no one talks about him as being in that tier with Brock Bowers and Trey McBride, and those other young tight ends. But he's a young tight end who's been a stud for
Probably
the past
not
2
one
years.
for one, but you'd have to package maybe one of your other receivers, not Amon-Ra and not Rice, with Kraft and go get a young stud wide receiver. I don't know who you could get. You might be able to get Garrett Wilson. I would try to send Kraft straight up for Garrett Wilson, and if they need a sweetener, see if you can add anything to it, but don't give up too much. But I would definitely go after any of these young receivers with depreciated value, like a Garrett Wilson, Olave, Waddle. I mean, any of these guys that you can get at a value right now.
So one thing I want to talk about is, if you look why we have all those numbers beside RB12, tight end 4, wide receiver 5, we took these off of KTC, which is Keep Trade Cut. It's a website that kind of ranks all these players from a national base where anybody can go in and give their opinion. So this is a good website to use when you're building your team, to look at who is around that number for trading. But if you type in Tucker Craft, it will tell you these are the guys with the same value that you can look at trading for.
It's a good market check.
It's a good market check. It's not 100% accurate. The more pieces you add, the more the calculation gets a little fuzzy, but it's really good for one-for-ones. Kind of talked about earlier, but some of these guys that you have, like Kendrick Bourne was okay, but now you can probably get rid of them. Cooper Kupp, Michael Carter's not even on a team. Like, these are guys that you could cut. You could also cut probably Malik Willis. These are guys that you can go ahead and drop and kind of do what I talked about earlier, where you need to be looking at rookies who weren't drafted in your rookie draft. This is a startup. These are guys that weren't even thought of because the rookie drafts haven't happened for you yet, where you can look for Chamiri DK. Tess Johnson was one that you got. Aronde Gasson was probably one a couple weeks ago. He probably wasn't drafted by anybody. Just look for those rookies that you can stash, and instead of a Cooper Kupp or Malik Willis who isn't going to give you anything, and hope you may hit a dart. Most of the time, you're probably not going to get anything, and they're just going to be dropped anyway for your next rookie class. But it's better to take a chance than let Malik Willis or Michael Carter, who's not even on a team right now, or Cooper Kupp, who's 45, just kind of sit on your bench for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Sav, I think your team is sitting in a great spot. You're 5-3.
Yeah.
You've got some stud wide receivers. You've got a stud tight end. Your quarterbacks are solid for a super flex. Brees Hall, if you're only starting one running back, he's a good running back to have for your solo position. So I think you're sitting in a great spot. One thing that I always love to do, and it's more risky, is to trade your draft capital. Go in, all in for the year. You've got 2 stud wide receivers. Go all in. It's my favorite thing to do in a dynasty. So I would take some of that draft capital and maybe do Brees Hall and a first to move up at that position, that solo position, to go get one of those stud top 3 running backs that like Bijan or Jonathan Taylor, one of those guys that you know is going to be able to carry you in the playoffs. Look at the playoff matchups to see what they look like. Go target those guys and go on for this year. I know it's a dynasty league and you've got to think about the future, but these guys can attest my draft strategy is to always risk it for the biscuit. I trade my draft capital every year to go get guys to have a chance to win it all.
And mine is, I love picks, I love rookies, and I'm the complete opposite. I would keep my first. Definitely, this is your first year. Is it a startup and you're about to have your first rookie draft? Even if not, having those, there's a big gap between the first round, the second round rookies. So I would rather package a second. Second rounders are fine. If you want to send those, we talked about last pod where they're kind of fool's gold. I would send us your second in Brees Hall and move up another tier higher than and keep my first, because eventually you're going to have to. You have 7 opportunities to play wide receivers where you need to build that wide receiver core more than probably any other position because you have more opportunities to play that position. So keeping that first rounder, you can have an opportunity to get like a Cardinal Tate or Jordan Tyson maybe. Your pick's going to be probably a little bit too higher up than that, but there's better chances to hit on those first rounders than the second rounders, and I'd rather you keep that and then trade that second round pick with Brees Hall and just move up a tier and run it back.
I would definitely
That's right.
agree with what both of y'all are saying, but more than anything, first thing you should do is look at your league, see where you stack up. You're 5-3, so you're probably competitive enough to where you can compete this year, but you do need to look at your team and be honest. Do you think, even in the best case scenario, are you going to win this year? And if that answer is no, or maybe even no, I wouldn't just be so willing to go in and win right now just because you have to start so many people in this league on a weekly basis. More people in starting caliber positions is going to benefit you long term than consolidating assets into one person. Yes, Jonathan Taylor's fun to have, but in this kind of league where I have to start so many people, if I could break him down into 2 very good starting caliber players, I'm open to doing that. It just depends on who I'm getting because I'm having to start so many people. So definitely look at the rest of your league, see where you stack up. And if you really can win this year, then yes, by all means, go in and try to do it. But you do need to be honest with where your team sits because 2 of your, I would say probably regular starters in Ayuk and Reed are currently hurt. So, I don't know when they're going to come back. It'll be later in the year, and that's assuming they look like themselves. This could very well be a next year team. And if this is a next year team, then play like that. Rebuild like you're ready to compete in a year from now and sell every asset that's not going to help you compete next year and only buy assets that will help you compete next year. So just kind of see where you stack up and see where your team all line up with when they expect to all be performing in their peak. And hopefully if all those happen at the same time, that's when you really try to go compete.
Yeah. And this is the beauty of a dynasty league. There are so many approaches and strategies that different people take to try to compete this year or the next year. So that's the beauty of dynasty and the fun part of it that's different than a redraft.
The one thing I would like to add is this, since this is super flex, you do have to, you're starting 2 quarterbacks either way. You have Justin Herbert, you have Jordan Love. Your third option right now is good for this year, kind of what Dalton said, where it's Joe Flacco. But when you're looking at next year's rookie draft, if you have that, I don't know if I'll spend my first round pick on that just because you have to start so many other positions. But if you keep that second rounder, look at what quarterbacks are going to be falling in that range. You may need a package, maybe a Tony Pollard or a Chuba Hubbard. If you have a late second, move up to like a 201, 202, where you have a better chance to get a quarterback. So you have at least a third option for bye weeks or if a quarterback gets injured and that season does not become a waste next year.
Yeah. This
Yep.
rookie quarterback class has been kind of a disappointment. So hopefully some of those guys fall in our fantasy drafts and you can scoop them up if you have some of those later picks than in years past where they usually go much higher. But I wouldn't put an overemphasis in getting a third quarterback because your starting lineup, it only requires you to start one quarterback. The other one is a super flex spot. So you can start another position that's not quarterback. Luckily, you have two good guys in Herbert and Love. Both of them have maintained health, throughout their career pretty well. So, I mean, most weeks you're starting Herbert and Love. And on that week where they can't and you don't have a third quarterback, it's not the end of the world because you can start another non-quarterback player. It doesn't require you to start two. But if you can get a third quarterback, I would put that as a goal. I wouldn't put that as my highest priority, though. I would say get young receivers first. Then
That's definitely young wide receivers is your number one goal.
And then look at getting maybe a third quarterback that you can rely on and maybe some young running backs that can build up and go after people that people hate. If there's anybody out there that people are just done, that people hate, that they want off their team, you go trade for them right now. Right now. I don't care how gross they look. If they're young, if they have a future and can be more productive in the future, go get them now. Because if people hate them, they will sell them for a discount.
Yep. Take advantage of that depreciated value. You can play Dynasty like the stock market, like day trading. Take advantage when people's stocks are down. Well, cool, guys. We've had a good show today. We're gearing up for week 9. We're like halfway through the year. It's kind of sad.
Crazy.
Well, I hope this is not my last time before a hiatus. Hopefully I win a couple leagues.
We hope so, Haven. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Good show. See you next week.
Thank you all. Like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and TikTok at FFB Addicts.
Thanks, guys.